Hey everybody, welcome back. Devin, the OG, original Grognard, sitting down. We're stepping into turn 5 of our playthrough of the Advanced Network Systems take on the Battle Kadif, which was involved in part of the Battle of Abu Aguila, part of our study in three mediums of the Battle of Abu Aguila. Couple three things that were pointed out to me that I wanted to go over before we get into this turn. And as everybody knows, I miss things all the time. So one of the reasons why I will never play ASL, there are so many little nuances to that game that I can only play the game with someone who knows much better than I am. 'Cause if I try to record me playing a game, it's gonna get real ugly, and I'll have 10,000. I don't want to say angry, but oh, what's the word I'm looking for? Passionate ASLers pointing out my mistakes. But so the things that I missed last time I played, there were three things. Oh, yeah, the first one, actually, remember, yeah, this right here, this terrain piece, that's not a hillock, sand dune. You would think the SD on the overlay type, I'd have figured that out, but not really that clever, man. For all intents and purposes, it hasn't really changed anything that up to this point. It operates as +5, except for these hex side things right here, which are high dunes, which are +10. So the LOS, really wasn't disturbed any from 105 mil or the 100 millimeter here, and anything else. The only difference is cost of terrain is doubled moving into it. I still had plenty of movement to go in there, and if you cross one of the high dunes, it's a mobilization test. Again, it really didn't change anything with what happened with the half track and the T-34s moving up, but still, SD. I should have known. Assumed it was a hillock. It's like that's an odd looking hillock when I was first, but whatever. The second thing that I needed to point out that I forgot, and I used to play with this because I used to remember, but if a unit breaks in the morale support range of a good order enemy unit, instead of breaking, they actually surrender. So these guys, when they broke, should have surrendered, and since there was no opportunity then for them to recover from the surrender because there was no leader with them and they couldn't have infiltrated away, they actually get eliminated. So we're just going to go ahead and move them to the dead pile. So there's that. And I don't think, yeah, because those guys got broke, but there was no Egyptian units around, and none of these guys got broke. So we're all good on that. The third thing was the last thing was the Sherman, the Super Sherman that got the M kill. Not only should I have rolled for suppression, which I was actually impressed that I remembered to do suppression on. Also needed to roll for a bailout on any M kill or K kill you roll on bailout, and that goes off of the initial dice roll or something like that. Uh, but I don't remember what the initial dice roll was, and it's only like a 1 in 3 chance, anyways. So we're just going to assume that they made their bailout check. They didn't bail out, so they're still in the tank, but they are still M killed because the track hit from before last turn. So we're stepping into turn 5, and the Egyptians have realized time is definitely on their side. So there's no reason for them to jump out of the buildings or anything. All they need to do is just kind of preserve forces and keep falling back. I was thinking about using some smoke. The Egyptians do have a limited amount of smoke. Israelis have as well. Throwing a smoke out, using that as cover to run out, launch a launch an RPG attack or something at one of the tanks or half tracks if they get too close. There's no real need for me to do that. Um, not very many Shermans left, to be honest. It might come down to it. It might not. I don't think to really utilize it, I'd have to be 1 hex away because firing from the smoke is a +4 to hit, and I think even at 1 hex, it's really bad to try to hit with an RPG at 1 hex. Uh, Yeah, it's a 7. So with even with the smoke, it's a 1 through 3. So not that great, but if things get desperate, you may see the Egyptians popping some smoke and trying to knock out a tank or something. So yeah, I think that's all I got. Pre-game. So let's. This is gonna be ugly. All right, so let's go ahead and start this. Throw for initiative. See who gets initiative. Again, red is the Israelis, black is the Egyptians. Whoever rolls lowest gets initiative. No indirect artillery phase. That goes straight into the action phase. 4-4 of tie. Roll reroll. 4-6 lowest. There we go. The Israelis get it. So the Israelis are going to take this opportunity and fire because if they don't, that poor half track is just going to get lit up. So let's just go ahead. Mark that with a fired, and this is a wire guided missile. I don't think there's a minimum range on it. There's a minimum range. I don't think there's a minimum. Well, let's check the hit table for it. I'll have it on it. Let's see. Wire guided Molotov, ATGM. Minimum. Oh, so there might be a minimum. Okay, well, let's check what the minimum range is. Because the chart says minimum to 10 hexes. Oh, let's see. Wire guided. Minimum range of 2. Ooh, crap. Well, so that's well within their minimum, so they can't fire. I could fire it there, but so that means we need to boogie that half track out of there. And I don't want to spin around because that's just going to trigger opportunity fire. Can I back up? I know you can just back up in ASL, but as we know, this is an ASL. And there are things that you can do in ASL that you can't do in ATS. Oh, that'd be reverse or backing up. Reverse movement. Yes, you can do it. 11-4-3. Ooh. Because since these are +5 blocking terrain, I'll be able to back up, and those T-34s won't be able to get shots off at me. So yeah, we're going cross country movement. 11 point. 15 continued. Forgot what the rule number was. Reverse, 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 reverse. Da, 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 da. And I was just looking at it. Reverse movement 11-4-3. 11-4, 11-4-2. 11-4-3. Vehicles must use forward into one of the two axes facing. Vehicles can also use reverse. Double the normal MP. Wheeled vehicles have reverse at 1.5 times. I know that is not a wheeled vehicle. It's a half-tracked vehicle. So to reverse is doubled. It's only going to be one movement. Let's go ahead and boogie to there. Now that will still trigger. I forgot. That will trigger opportunity fire from the 105 ain't got nobody else really to shoot. Well, could fire into the back. Ooh, I didn't even notice that. Could fire into the backside of that. Yeah, I think that's probably what the 105 is going to. But we're not going to outfire on it yet. So it's going to be 2 to reverse. Change verdict says 3, 4. Four, 5, 6. Now this could be triggering op fire from 105 just because it's sitting up so high. It'll see over the plus the sand dunes, but I'm not going to. So 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, 2 to back up. 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. My brain is not working. This 6, 7. No. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oops. This is the one bad thing about, whoops, about playing with Vassals. I just can't actually physically get in there to turn the piece. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 12, 13, 14. Need to boogie out of there. That's better as a long range weapon. They're probably going to get loaded up bad, but you know what? Can't do it. Okay, so that's the Israeli. The Egyptian turn. Now, come down. Do a long range shot with the T-34. Yes, we will, because we already have the burst on target marker. Whatever it's called. You know what I'm talking about. Burst on target. Is that? Again, getting my ASL and ATS turn ass backwards. Okay, well, let's just check how far range. 2, 3. Wait, 29. That's right. 29 hexes. That's a E-class weapon. And it is 75 millimeter or larger. So we're looking at a 5. The vehicle size. The Sherman. A -1. It's easier to hit. Be 6. And it's got the burst on target, which is a +5. So that's going to be 11, and there's no other modifiers. Oh, we're looking at 11. 7, yep, that's going to hit. There's a big surprise. All right, let's see. What location is it in? 5 on a turreted vehicle. Fairly certain that's a upper hall. Let's see, turret 5 is an upper hall. The M50 upper hall front is an 8 versus an 85 millimeter. Egyptian Soviet made 85 millimeter. Range is, wow, 25 column. It's a 9. Front armor of 8. There's a 1 difference in the armor chart. On the armor chart, +1. 5, it's going to be a hit, but it is going to be a no penetration. So that shell just patanged right off the front of that Sherman. Now, normally, if this was World War II Sherman, it probably would have punched right through it. But since these are the Israeli Super Shermans, they got upgraded and upgunned and up armored for 20 years after they should have been retired. They're a little bit harder. But they did get hit. Suppression check. And I think it's going to be an automatic because the weapon hitting it was, yeah, 80. Oh, only if it's a turret hit. So it's a 50 millimeter or better. Dice roll 7 or less. Yes, 7 or less will press it. A 4. Okay, so they get not really that big of a surprise. They're actually surprised they're still alive. But, all right. Fired. Fired marker on him. All right, now back to the Israelis. What do they want to do? I did notice. Yeah, you know what? Let's go ahead and activate him as Sherman. We'll do cross country, or no, we'll do assault movement. Would it even be worth it? Probably. Yeah, well, I only need. We're going to go ahead and take him. We are going to assault move him. But we're going to rotate him one, and you know what? What that is going to do is that's going to yacht fire from the 100 millimeter. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 11, 12, 18 hexes with a B class weapon. That is a B class weapon. Okay, so 18 hexes with a B class weapon is going to be a 6. Size is going to make it a 7. And there's going to be no other modifiers. Yep, no other modifiers. Just make sure. All right, so it's like we still are voice recording. I got to keep an eye on that, everyone. I do test every time before I record. I do a little bit of a test, but so what happened with the line? 10. Oh. Yeah, since we're remembering, let's see if we jam. All right, so we rolled a 10 to hit, which was a miss. And since we rolled a 10, you roll a. Where's it? That. No, I get confused about jam. Well, I said at the beginning I wasn't going to worry about jam. I'm thinking morale checks for heroic. For jams, it's a doubles, which I should be rolling 2 dice for if I was playing jams, but I didn't. He went ahead and fired. He spent 1 movement point. He breathes a sigh of relief. So, instead, you rotating him. Oops, wrong way. I do not know why I am on him. There. Now let's rotate him 1 more. There we go. Yeah. I don't really like that either. Rotate him back. Yeah. Uh, oops. So basically, he's going to sit there in case, and basically go into Overwatch. Those 2 Shermans, or those 2 T-34s up here. That's going to be it. I could fire. Since I assault moved, I could fire. But it's going to be horrible to hit because it's going to be like +5 for assault moving, +4 for the firing at a large gun, firing at a heavy gun, and firing at in the weapons pit. I wonder if those stack. Basically shooting at the weapons pit, not necessarily shooting. I'll have to check on that. Okay, so that's the Israeli turn. Not a big rush to push those T-34s. Go back. Go into here. Start doing something with infantry. These guys, that medium machine gun still. He failed. The squad failed. Or wasn't able to rally, but the crew's still good. So the crew's got a bunch of targets they can shoot at. So they're just going to go ahead and fire at that stack again. So it's going to be 5. It's going to be the 4 column. And -1 for the NCO directed. 4 to -1. 4 -1 is 3. Is a C1. I want to put it at here. Flip him. Okay, motivation. It's going to be 6 minus 1 for the casualties taken. 5. Morale support range of a full strength squad there is a 6. Gotta check that on sure vehicle support. Morale support. Morale support. Oh, each AAV has a 1+1 morale support. Okay. So 6, 7, 8 for the leader's morale. 2, he's fine. The squad is 8 minus 1 for the casualty, 7 minus 1 for the casualties taken, 6, 7 for the NCO, 8 for the vehicle, 9 for the squad next. I always thought that's kind of a little bit funny that the squads usually can end up, if they've got a good order leader with them, end up getting a higher morale test than the leader themselves. Not sure how that happens. It does. Okay. On. Get that on there. And he can actually still fire again because that's a required. Well, okay, then the Israelis are just going to go ahead and pop with their and try to take out that stupid machine gun nest again. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 2, 8. 8 hexes with a D class weapon. That's usually what most onboard artillery is. That's a 7. Got a burst on target, so 5, 12. Have I been keeping? Oh, yeah, I know. 12, 11, 10, 9 because of the terrain they're in. They're in a Mason building, so that brings down to a 9. That's right. Hitting hasn't been my problem. Yeah, there we go. We hit. Artillery versus a stone building. The gunfire factors are halved. 76 millimeter. Yeah, that's where I've been, which is a 14, which is gun factor of 14 divided in half is a 7, which rounded down to a 6 again. So 1 and 5, 1 through 5 will do something. 4, that's going to be something that's going to be a C1. And you know what? We don't want to put it on. Let's kill off that squad because we don't want to put any casualties on the crew. But yeah, we'll just go ahead and kill off that squad. But Dak still has to take motivation. So it's a 6 minus 1 for the casualties taken that the stack took. So 5. There's no other morale support around him. So 5 for them. He fails. And the crew is going to be 7 minus 1 for the casualties the stack took. So it's 6. No morale support. He makes it with the leader. Odd that the crew is doing better than the squad and the leader. Well, just because we want to get it out of the way, go ahead and fire off the second rate of fire. We'll do it at the same squad again. Leader's not providing his leadership bonus this time, so it's going to be on the 5. It's 5 gun factors, rounded down to the 4 column. No modifier. 4, 9. That's going to be nothing. All right. Well, the Egyptian targeting seems to have slacked off a lot since the beginning because they were real happy about what was going on beforehand and have kind of lost a little bit of their resolve. Okay, back to the Israeli turn. Not in a big rush. He fired. That Sherman kind of an Overwatch. Do something with the flail tank. Got these squads coming up. Yeah, I've got to get. Should have moved the flail tank down. All right, so we're gonna go. Yeah, we're gonna go cross country. Cross country movement. 1 movement point. Actually, let's not rotate. But I need to learn. Control 0. Fine. Full. Unlock. All right, maybe it's not easier for me to. Oh, screw it. I think maybe I use the keyboard command. Keyboard command. There. Oh, balls. Get them back to where. Okay, reverse. 1, 2. Rotate, because this will actually think less. 3, 4, 5, 6. Turn them. Why is my cursor not okay? Oops. Almost 50 years old. Do you think I'd know the difference between clockwise and counterclockwise? All right, so and then next turn he can start trying. So he moved. Oops, to take the crawling move. Clockwise. There we go. Counterclockwise. So he's moved. Now for the Egyptians. You know what? I don't know why I didn't notice before. These guys will fire on that stack right. So it's going to be 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9. Okay, why are you asking 9? Just remember the middle stack or the middle squad has got the casualty mark. -1 firepower, carrying a support weapon, so it's another -1. So 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 is going to be on the 8 column, +3 for the Mason building, -1 for the so rental 2, 8 column +2. What do we got? 3, 4, 5. That's going to be something. It's going to be a C1. Him with a fired marker. He still does have 1 rate of fire with you. So casualty. I have to put it on the full squad. Tip him. Casualty off. All right, motivation. Start with the highest leader, so it's going to be 7. Oops. I mark him. League. Okay. Sorry. Okay, so motivation. Start with the highest leader, which is going to be off there. 7. -1 for the fire they took is going to be 6. AFV. Technically, the half track counts as an AFV, so 1. No, I think I was forgetting that earlier in the game. So it's going to be a 7 for the leader. No other morale support. All right, he's fine. The wounded NCO is going to be 6, -1 for the casualties suffered is a 5, +2 for the officer. Yeah, the officers never give their bonuses to themselves, which is why their troops usually end up getting better morale rolls than the officers. 6, 5, 6, 7. No other modifiers. He's good. The squad. First squad 6. -1 for the casualties taken, 5, 6 for the AFE, 7, 8 for the officer. Yep, yep. Possible courage. Reroll it again. Nope, no courage. He breaks, and then the other squad is going to be the same thing, but he passes. So he is going to be broken. And he's only broken because there's no enemy squads around him. So there's that. I was going to fire the bazooka, but then I realized I'm in a building, so I can't fire the bazooka. I can just fire normally. Not good, though. That's going to be three factors because they're carrying a support weapon, which will make it a 2-column, +2 for the officer, -3 or +3 for the stone building, -2 for the officer, for a net total of +1. That's one. Well, I might as well go ahead and do that then. Fire, or they get that second rate of fire off machine gun. So the one squad is going to fire. Oh, you know what? I'm an idiot. The no, the leaders have got a firepower of 2, but they're only range 1, but you can fire out to double. So they've actually got 1 firepower. So it's going to be 2, 3, 4. So we're 3, 4, 5, right? Which is going to round down to a 4-column, +3 for the stone building, -2 for the officer, for a grand total of +1. So 4-column +1. 5 + 1 is 6 is nothing. They fired. And just so we get it out of the way, we're going to LMG fire. So that's going to be 3, +3 for the stone building, -1 NCO. So 3, which is going to round down to the 2-column, +2 on the die. 10, nothing. All right. And we'll have these guys. One. Gonna trip. Could. I don't think I'm gonna have line of sight. So 1, 2. Any room fire. The crew. Well, no, the crew. Well, the crew could op fire. It'd be 1 fire factor at long range. But they are assault moving, which is a -2 on the dice roll. Now, you know what? Let's save that just in case. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Could have probably picked up the deal. Since the assault move, they can fire. So it's going to be halved firepower, which is 2. Yeah, it's not even. Yeah, the leader won't be able to provide anything. Ordered firepower for firing. 2 +3 for the building. Leader. So 2-column +2. 4, 5, 6s. Anything? I don't need to check the chart for that. I know nothing. Fired. So what do we have now? We have the Egyptians again. Really, I mean, their infantry's good. I don't think their infantry will do anything. And part of me is thinking, well, done something. All right, well, we're looking at the E-34s now. Okay, we're going to assault move with him. So, no, that's only 5 movement points. We're going to cross country with him. Not moving through the sand dunes. Although I could. Yeah, let's move through the sand. Why not? So, still going to cross country move. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There we go. He's going to right there. Now, I could op fire with him because he just assault moved. And I'm fairly certain if you assault move, you can still op fire or use your fire later in the move. Maybe not. That one I'll have to take a look at. But again, for me to hit, it's going to be +5 because of the assault move anyways. And 7, range 7 with an A-class weapon. It's going to be 8, 3. Oh, target's moving though. Covered arc, burst on target. Command. Moving target vehicle is going to be another 2. Yeah, so it'd be a 1. Don't even worry about it. But since he cross country, he can't fire. Back to the Israelis. They kind of did their thing there. Those guys are stuck there, broke. I can half tracks. Do something. You know what? Let's just go ahead and take this guy fire at that T-34. So that's going to add. We know it was 29 for the other one. 1 hex away, so it's going to be 28. 28 with an A-class weapon is going to be 4. Ugh. Nope. 75 millimeters is going to be a 6. And no modifiers. So 6. 10, nothing. Lerg. Okay. Third. Back to the Egyptians. This guy is going to he's gonna cross country. 2, 4. For now, he's just gonna assault. But so yeah, he's gonna cross country. 6. Rotate. So he'll have that Sherman in his sights next. All right. Back to the Egyptians, or the Israelis. Half tracks. T-34. Half tracks got to get out of here. 2, 6, 11, 12, 13, 14. Egyptians, basically all they've got left is their infantry now. And again, they just need to hold. So 1, 2. Yeah, we're just gonna get these half tracks out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. We don't need to be getting those things destroyed, giving up points to the Egyptians. Back to the Israelis, or back to the Egyptians. Still, I mean, sitting fat and happy. That's all they need to do. Oops, okay. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 12. 13, 14. Yeah, again, keep rinse, wash, repeat. So I'm gonna mentally do it because I know he's gonna end up pointing back that way again. 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 7, 8, and 11. Like my little hand gesture that I do for my rotating of them. Again, no need for the Egyptian to do anything. 1, 2, 3. Oops, come on. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12. You'll end up, you see, that way. All right. Yeah, I know. I should put movement markers behind each one of them, but we're winding down to the turn at the moment. I don't think there's going to be anything that the Egyptians are going to do that's going to interfere with whatever the half tracks do. So back to the Egyptians. Egyptians don't do anything. Israelis. I think that's it for the Israelis. But that guy there that's broke and can't do anything. Get those guys there. Those guys there. Oh. Captured a building. Not going to be able to capture enough of those. Oh, God. Yeah. All right. Well, basically, all we got left is this. So I think these guys are going to they'll assault move, so they can still fire. So let's see. It's going to be 6 -1 for the casualty, 5, 1 point for the leader firing at long range. So it's going to be back up to 6. 6 at a +2, +3 for the stone building, -1 for the 2. 6 at +2 again, firing it there. Machine gun pit. 1. Ooh, there's something good. That's a C3. That I think will probably finish that stack off. Yeah, actually it will, because they can only absorb 2 more losses. So that will eliminate them. That goes away. He will become a casualty. He will become a casualty. Put those over in the dead pile. Here a little bit. All right, that was actually like that. So back to the Egyptians. You guys are yeah, they're building. Okay, so make sure. This stack will go ahead and assault move up there. Nobody to fire at. Back to the Egyptians. Nothing they want to do. Israelis assault move into there. Okay. That's done with the regular because everybody's done whatever they can do. So we're going into the infiltration phase. Infiltration gets initiative. Okay, Israelis get the initiative. Now, here's the choice. Do I infiltrate into these dummy minefields or wait 1 turn, have the Sherman, best he can do is going to be able to clear 2 of them. If he can clear 2 of them, then I start swarming infantry through there. So, you know what? I'm not going to run the risk of setting off any possible dummy minefields. We'll just wait until next turn for the half track to clear a couple of those up, then I'll be able to start moving into the buildings and hopefully try to capture some victory point location, because I am way behind what I thought I'd be taking at this point. So yeah, let's go ahead and remove all that. And so infiltration, that's guys. Okay, these guys will infiltrate here. Sneaky, sneaky, sneak. Give us another build. Those guys, I think, are going to stay right there. Guys are going to stay right there. Yeah, I'm going to be hard pressed to get any more of these. I just don't think I'm going to get enough village points to give me any type of victory for this one. All right, so that's going to be motivation or rally phase. We got this suppressed tank down here. Roll for suppression on that, which is 8. Yep, they're fine. They become unsuppressed. They're dead, so they can't rally. Nobody broken there. He can't rally because he's don't have a lead. So really, the only one I got is right there. Counted up 6 for the morale, +2 for the officers. So it's going to be 8. 1, yay! They're back. All right. It's the little joys in life. Combat broken, and I don't think anybody else is suppressed, or yeah, because he didn't get hit. Yeah, that's it. That's gonna be it for the turn. That's it for turn 5. Hopefully, I did everything correct this time. I didn't mess up too much. Yeah, I'm starting to think more and more that I kind of lost this with my Israeli setup. If I'd had all the half tracks together, all the tanks together, I could have been able to blown a hole into part of the city and pushed in with overwhelming firepower. The problem with that though is if I'd have taken all the half tracks and the tanks here, I'd have been able to secure this real quick, but then I'd had to maneuver my tanks through this way if the mine flail tank had, well, the mine flail tank probably would have gone. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm thinking my setup, separating the infantry and the armor, was a bad thing. But I'm not sure how much better it would have been if I had kept them together. All right. I think that's it for turn 5. Questions, comments, concerns, complaints, criticisms in the comment section. I'll see everybody next time.